for Gota.
Marcha, marcha.
DSS stand for Gota.
Marcha, marcha.
Marcha, marcha.
Marcha, marcha.
Marcha, marcha.
Marcha, marcha.
Buhari don die for Gota.
Marcha, marcha.
Buhari don die for Gota.
Marcha, marcha.
Marcha, marcha.
Marcha, marcha.
Marcha, marcha.
Marcha, marcha.
Buhari talk for Gota.
Marcha, marcha.
DSS talk for Gota.
Hey! Marcha, marcha.
Marcha, marcha, marcha.
Marcha, marcha.
Marcha, marcha.
Marcha, marcha. Marcha, marcha.
President for Gota.
Marcha, marcha.
President for Gota.
Marcha, marcha.
Marcha, marcha.
Marcha, marcha.
Marcha, marcha.
Marcha, marcha. Marcha, marcha.
President for Gota.
Marcha, marcha.
President for Gota.
Marcha, marcha.
For Gota.
Marcha, marcha.
Aluta is a mighty sword.
He's a mighty sword.
Is a mighty sword.
He's a mighty sword.
Marcha for them before him.
He's a mighty sword.
Oh, press us for them before him.
He's a mighty sword.
Stand for them before him.
He's a mighty sword.
Struggle is a mighty sword.
He's a mighty sword.
Struggle is a mighty sword.
He's a mighty sword.
Aluta is a mighty sword.
He's a mighty sword.
Pressure for them before us.
He's a mighty sword.
Pressure for them before us.
He's a mighty sword.
Greatest lies for them before us.
He's a mighty sword.
Buhari go fall before us.
He's a mighty sword.
Pressure for them before us.
He's a mighty sword.
Worry for them before him.
He's a mighty sword.
Struggle is a mighty sword.
He's a mighty sword.
Struggle is a mighty sword.
He's a mighty sword.
Lie for them before him.
He's a mighty sword.
Pressure for them before him.
He's a mighty sword.
Corruption for them before him.
He's a mighty sword.
Climate change for them before him.
He's a mighty sword.
Struggle is a mighty sword.
He's a mighty sword.
Struggle is a mighty sword.
He's a mighty sword.
Aluta is a mighty sword.
He's a mighty sword.
Pressure for them before him.
He's a mighty sword.
Pressure for them before him.
He's a mighty sword.
Corruption for them before him.
He's a mighty sword.
Ethnicity for them before him.
He's a mighty sword.
Stealing for them before him.
He's a mighty sword.
Rogi for them before him.
He's a mighty sword.
Boko Haram for them before him.
He's a mighty sword.
Struggle is a mighty sword.
He's a mighty sword.
Struggle is a mighty sword.
He's a mighty sword.
Struggle is a mighty sword.
He's a mighty sword.
Pressure for them before him.
He's a mighty sword.
Pressure for them before him.
He's a mighty sword.
Lie for them before him.
He's a mighty sword.
DSS for them before him.
He's a mighty sword.
Lie for them before him.
He's a mighty sword.
Aluta continua. Victoria Santa. I'm on the way to nothing shall discourage us. Aluta continua. Victoria Santa. I'm on the way to nothing shall discourage us. Nothing shall discourage us.
Nothing shall discourage us.
Nothing shall discourage us.
Mighty shall discourage us.
Oh, we sing Aluta continua.
Nothing shall discourage us.
Oh,
Free Sowore.
Aluta continua.
Free Sowore. It's time for Sowore to be free. It is time for Sowore to be free. Sowore has
Nothing shall discourage us.
When people when people take over street, oppression, all oppression, them go run away. When people take over, when we take over, when people take over street, when people take over street, all oppression, them go run away. When people take over, when we take over, when people take over street, when people take over street, oppressor, them go run away.
Sowore is standing for the masses, and that is why we must stand for him. We must start to defend him to the core, because united we stand and divided we scatter. We stand with Sowore with one hand. Thank you.
Can never be defeated. Yes. The people united can never be defeated. 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 The people united
Can never be
Another challenge you, another challenge you, another challenge you, double challenge you, another challenge you, another challenge you, another challenge you, double challenge you, another challenge you, another challenge you, another challenge you, double challenge.
Now we had evidence that they were served, they were given with the notice of that judgment. They said they have not gotten it, and one Ayuba signed it that he received it. So we are calling on DSS to
challenge you, double challenge you, another challenge you, another challenge you, another challenge you, double challenge you.
We, members of the civil society, here in Abuja, in Lagos, have decided today, as the end of the week, to come to the Human Rights Commission. This particular commission was set up based on the struggle of the people of Nigeria as a fulfillment of the international and global positions on the freedom that are specified clearly for all human generation. We all know all of these freedoms in association, speech, and a lot of others. We are here, and we know that our comrades have been here before, but we also want to come here and reiterate and register our position that the federal government of Nigeria and the Department of State Security are already calling all Nigerians fools.
That's it. Absolutely.
They are saying
Yes.
They are above the law.
that the Constitution of Nigeria does not exist anymore.
Yes.
Yes.
That is it.
The DSS is also saying that we should just sell whatever remains of the human rights that is associated with the name of Nigeria.
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Since Tuesday,
Imagine.
September 24, that the Federal High Court, in a very short, simple, logical, and clear position, has ruled that Omoyele Sowore, who was abducted
Kidnapped.
in his own house, illegally, illegitimately,
Yes.
and have been kept for over 55 days,
Today.
should be released. Again, we fulfilled all of the prerequisites known to law.
In common sense.
We served the DSS ourselves. We also got the bailiff of the court to serve on the DSS again this morning. The DSS rejected the bailiff and asked the bailiff to come midday. As we speak now, the High Court bailiff, a bailiff of the High Court of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, has never been allowed to enter into the DSS office. We want to come to the Human Rights Commission first to register all of these complaints, and two, to ask one question: whether the Federal Republic of Nigeria still subscribe to the international laws guiding the human rights and the African Charter on Human Rights. Those are the reasons why we are here today. We have here the National Youth Leader of the African Action Congress, in person of Comrade Adela Jafoda. We also have here a lot of other civil society, and I here speaking with you is Kule Wiseman Ajay, the acting chair of the African Action Congress in Lagos State. So we want the National Youth Leader to just shortly also address you before you make a response.
Of the greatest Nigerian people.
Great.
Ever conscious Nigerian people.
Great.
Articulate Nigerian people.
Articulate.
We are here to register our displeasure and silence of the National Human Rights Commission on civil rights issues and the disobedience of this present government to the rights of the masses. We are surprised that the National Human Rights Commission is even so silent at a lot of things happening to people they are supposed, by virtue of their creation, to stand in for at all times. But we are here to register again. That is simple, the court has ruled. And all we are saying is that again, the president should obey court orders. It is as simple as that. Release Omoyele Sowore to us. We have fulfilled all conditions as stated by the court for his release. And we do not know up to now, over 48 hours after that ruling, the DSS is still holding on to Omoyele Sowore, denying access, even his lawyer, and people to see him after the judgment has been given. We are here to also register that the people united can never be defeated. Yes, we know this present administration to always oppress, and we are also aware that they claim that they are bigger than the rule of law and the Nigerian Constitution. but we are here to ask and seek the voice of the Nigeria National Human Rights Commission to lend their voice to our struggles, to our demands, and for the unconditional release of Omoyele Sowore. That is our demand. Thank you.
Of the greatest Nigerian people,
Great.
I will hereby call Gerard Kate of the Abuja Human Rights Association. Gerard.
Gerard.
Yes, my people, we are here to register our displeasure, continuous dismay and the disregard to court orders in Nigeria. And we are here in the National Human Rights Commission to pray and plead for your immediate intervention on these valid orders. There are several orders that have been given. The same court that gave order for the remand or detention of Stephen Omoyele Sowore for 45 days. It's the same court that gave order, the same judge that gave order for his release. In this country today, it appears that our authorities are being selective in the orders of the court, the one to obey and the one not to obey. We need your immediate intervention to save our nation, because when you overdig a substructure, definitely you are trying to fall the superstructure. A disobedience to court order is an invitation to anarchy anywhere in the world.
Yes.
We are praying to National Human Rights Commission to save what is left of this country from the continuous violation and intimidation we are facing in this present regime. Thank you.
Of the greatest Nigerian people,
Great.
I will hereby call on Femi Adeyeye of the Alliance of Nigerian Students Against the Liberal Arts and the Revolution Now. Okay. Thank you. Greatest Nigerian people.
Great.
Greatest Nigerian people.
Great.
Articulate Nigerian people. Without further ado, I just want to say one or two, because we understand so well the kind of violation of human rights as in the trend in this regime, especially in the Buhari regime. It is very clear to everybody that the kind of administration that we run is such that you have to wait for an order after a court order. That is not democracy. In democracy, the court order remains the supreme order anywhere. But in a point, in a kind of system of government where you have to wait for an order after an order, that is not democracy. And the deafening silence of the National Human Rights Commission is deafening, that silence. Because it's becoming unbecoming. Thank you very much, comrade. At a point where you don't take sides with the oppressed people in a society, you are part of the oppressor. Exactly. In this case, there's no sitting on the fence, because the revolution we are talking about is inevitable. Yes. You cannot beat a child and then cover the child's mouth from crying. Nigerians have been dealt with to that point that we will just have to cry out. So even if they try to stop it now, the revolution will happen. It is just imminent. It is inevitable. So what we are saying is that the National Human Rights Commission should stop, and I'm saying this personally, should stop sitting on the fence. This is a time to stand with the people. This is a time to stand with human rights. This is a time to defend the rights of Nigerians. A court order has been served on the DSS since Tuesday, and today makes it the third day from Tuesday. 72 hours. And what the judge said was that he should be released immediately and his passport should be submitted within 48 hours. The passport was submitted within, in fact, less than 24 hours. So what are we talking about? The court that said go and detain him for 45 days. The order to detain most times is, in fact, swiftly obeyed. But the order to release then becomes very difficult. That is not the kind of country we want. And so that's why we are saying the National Human Rights Commission should step up the game and stand with the oppressed people. Thank you very much.
Freedom for one. Freedom for all. Freedom for one. Freedom for all.
And finally, we want to call on Bob Agine, the PRO of the African Action Congress in Abuja.
Hello, my people. We are here again. Freedom for one.
Freedom for all.
Sir, we are already angry. We are aggrieved. We are bitter because our leaders are beating us. Repeatedly, they continue to beat us and beat us and beat us. Even in the times of our rights, they continue to beat us. Our prayer is for you to help release Omoyele Sowore. We have nothing to say other than this. The same court that granted his arrest is still the same court that is saying release him. I do not see reasons why the DSS will continuously keep him. We are bitter, and this is the height of it. It is happening to Sowore today. It can happen to you tomorrow. It is happening to Sowore today. It can happen to me tomorrow. Please, we are calling on the Human Rights Commission to please intervene in this matter. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. These are documents, part of the High Court documents that were submitted. Get it. And also evidences to show that the DSFs received the court order that was served on them. So these are...
The Human Rights Commission of Nigeria has been very vocal in defending and championing the human rights of Nigerians and also of all those that live in Nigeria. The Commission is committed, and the Commission, in accordance with its powers and mandate, has been making its voice heard, loud and clear with respect to the protection of the human rights of all Nigerians. So the issue of definite silence when it comes to human rights protection does not arise. The Commission has issued a lot of press releases. The Commission has organized press conferences. The Commission has taken a lot of measures. And the facts and the evidence speak for themselves when it comes to the protection and the promotion of the rights of all Nigerians. And what you have brought here will not be an exception. Now, you have made statements, you have expressed your concerns, you have expressed your anger, you have expressed your dissatisfaction, and we have heard that the Federal High Court has given an order for the release of Mr. Sowore. Now that you have brought some documents to the National Human Rights Commission with respect to this issue, the Commission, in its practice, is going to engage competent federal government authorities to ensure compliance with this order of the Federal High Court. Now, the Commission cannot go to the public. The Commission cannot act when it has no facts before it. The Commission does not act on sentiments. The Commission does not act on, what people are saying, except there are material documents. We cannot engage competent authorities by saying that we are hearing that a court has given an order. Now, this man was represented by a counsel, and the counsel has taken appropriate action by ensuring the service of this order on the DSS. Now, you have equally come here now with a letter and with some materials. So what it means is that you want the National Human Rights Commission to step into these matters.
Yes.
And the commission is going to do that. Majority of people have been arbitrarily arrested and detained for one reason or the other. And as a result of the intervention of the National Human Rights Commission, most of these people have been released. Of course, there are some of these things that go outside that go into the public domain in terms of press releases, in terms of press statement. But what we do every minute of the day is to ensure that the human rights of all Nigerians are protected. And yes, of course, there can be no any perfect situation, but I can tell you convincingly and without any fear that the efforts of the National Human Rights Commission has resulted in the protection of the rights of Nigerians in so many dimensions. And the Commission will continue, to take steps to ensure that rights are protected. So we are going to engage, as I said, and we are going to give you feedback. If there is need for the Commission to make press statements with respect to this issue, the Commission will not be shy. The Commission will not be shy to do that. But I know that in the past, so we have issued press statements advising governments at all levels, advising government authorities to respect the rights of everybody. So we have done that, and we will continue to do that. We have even issued what is called advisory to law enforcement agencies on the respect for the rights of suspects. We have also issued advisory on the responsibilities of Nigerians to protest responsibly and within the ambit of the Constitution and of the law. And we have also advised competent security forces and agencies to respect the constitutional rights of peaceful protesters. And we will continue to do that. So I thank you. I expect the feedback from us with respect to these documents that you have submitted. Then lastly, despite the fact that you are angry, despite the fact that you are dissatisfied, I will urge you to continue to carry out this protest within the ambit of the law, because it is your constitutional right to engage in peaceful protest. But you and I know that if care is not taken, some people that may not be part of you, they may cause chaos and confusion, and this may lead to the violation of the rights of other Nigerians. And as we know, as we have the right to protest and to seek for our human rights, every other Nigerian equally has the same right and responsibility. So once again, I thank you for the way you have conducted yourself here, and I, on behalf of the Executive Secretary, have received these documents and we shall act on them.
Your name, sir?
Yeah, my name is Abdul Rahman Yakubu. So I am the Director of Civil and Political Rights of the National Human Rights Commission.
Greatest Nigerian people. Greatest Nigerian people. So, we really appreciate you for having us. You're a well-organized and civil. So,